What is the soul, and what is the meaning of its life, can be disclosed in brief as follows. Conditions have been created in the universe for the continuous emergence of souls. The soul is a developing intelligent information system. The life of the soul is a long path of its development from the birth of the soul to the soul that has reached the highest level of development. As the soul reaches the highest level of development, it becomes part of the Supreme Mind. The Supreme Mind is a universal developing intelligent information system of the highest level of development, which purposefully manages immaterial and material worlds of the universe. The Supreme Mind is interested in the development of souls, since souls that have reached the highest level of development become part of the Supreme Mind that develops it. The soul goes through the following stages of its development: a very young soul, a young soul, an adult soul, a highly developed soul, a soul that has reached the highest level of development. Not all souls reach the highest level of development and become part of the Supreme Mind. The Supreme Mind destroys souls that do not meet the criteria for the correctness of their development. The selection of souls occurs at the stage of very young souls and young souls. The development of the soul is the meaning of its life. The purpose of the development of the soul is to cognize the external world and realize the nature of the universe. Without this, the soul will not be able to reach the highest level of development and sometime in the future become part of the Supreme Mind. The development of the soul occurs through the development of its thinking, intellect, and consciousness. The soul's thinking is the soul's ability to search, receive, understand, process, that is, store, evaluate, analyze, systemize information, and to manage received and processed information. The soul's intellect is the soul's ability to transform received and processed information, create derivative information, and to manage derivative information. The soul's consciousness is the soul's personal attitude toward the external world, which arises from its awareness of itself as a rational being distinct from the external world. There are many material inhabited worlds in the universe, where souls, at the early stages of their development, incarnate into biological beings living in these worlds. The incarnation of souls in the early stages of their development into biological beings is obligatory and necessary for a more dynamic development of souls compared to their development in the immaterial world of the universe. Earth is one of the many aforementioned material inhabited worlds in the universe, where young souls, for the purpose of their development, incarnate into humans. A human is a biological social being who possesses speech, and into whom the soul has incarnated. The soul's incarnation into a human is an energy-informational interaction between the soul and a human, limited by the duration of a human life, for realizing the earthly stage of the soul's development. I am a young soul incarnated into a human to undergo my earthly stage of development. During my earthly stage of development, I am my human body, my thinking, intellect, and consciousness, my life in a human body. The soul, not the human body, including the human brain, possesses thinking, intellect, and consciousness. A human has no thinking, intellect, and consciousness without the soul. A human does not exist without the soul. The human body is a temporary material carrier necessary for the soul during its earthly stage of development. Humanity is a collection of the young souls, possessing varying levels of development of thinking, intellect, and consciousness, who are going through their earthly stage of development. After completing its incarnation into a human, the soul continues its life path. One human life is not enough for a young soul to cognize the external world and realize the nature of the universe. With rare exceptions, the level of development of even the most developed young souls, which incarnate into modern humans, is still far from the level of development of adult souls. Almost all young souls currently incarnated into modern humans still have further earthly incarnations to go through. The number of earthly stages of development that a young soul will still have to go through for the purpose of its development depends on the level of its development and on how much its development corresponds to the criteria of correct development. Sometime in the future, as a result of multiple earthly incarnations, the young soul will develop and, after reaching a certain level of development, will become an adult soul. Adult souls no longer need earthly stages of their development, as their level of knowledge of the external world and awareness of the nature of the universe is so high that the earthly stage of development can no longer increase their level of knowledge of the external world and awareness of the nature of the universe. The development of adult souls occurs only in the immaterial world of the universe. Sometime in the future, an adult soul will reach the highest level of development, becomes part of the Supreme Mind, and thereby completes its life path as an individual. Detailed explanation and justification of the above theses you can find in my book Theory of the Nature of the Universe and Man, which is available at the link posted below in the description to this video.